friend, Professor my esteemed guide, Professor Colonial sir, distinguished IC members, and my fellow research. Today, I am going to present my initial progress on the introduction part, that is the study of my electoral politics in the Muslim community in Colonial Bengal. This is my main topic. My idea topic was electoral politics and marginal communities, a study of Muslim community in Colonial Bengal, myself in my guide. So in the last 4 months, I have worked on the introduction part of my study, electoral politics in the Muslim community in Colonial Bengal. This study deals with the historical foundation of the Muslim political engagement in the electoral process. It explores the position the Muslims of Bengal before the introduction of electoral politics. What was the position of the Muslim before the introduction of electoral politics during British colonial rule? So Bengal was among the first regions in India to fall under British colonial rule. This region underwent a significant structural change during colonial period, impacting social, economic, and political sphere. The process began with the East India Company's victories at the Battle of Plassey 1757 and the Battle of Buxar 1764, which secured its British Company's first political dominance in the region of Bengal. These victories ultimately led to the acquisition of Dimani rights, which granted Company's first physical authority over revenue collection in Bengal. This marked the beginning of the transformative colonial rule that shaped Bengal's economy, society, and state of government. So, before 1861, Bengal and other parts of British India had no system of representative government. The Governor General enacted laws in council without any consultation from the Indians. So, the administrative system as a whole, from the judiciary to revenue, was operated by the British officials, and Indian elites had no official role in politics. Any official role in politics. Although some were informally consulted on the revenue or local disputes, Indians were excluded from the governments at both the national and the provincial level. The early political organization emerged in demanding some levels of political participation. But this demands ignored by the British colonial government. So, however, we can say that the genuine political representation for the Indians remains largely absent. The legislative bodies consisted solely British and had minimum involvement. Early political development of the Muslim community in colonial Bengal. The province, as you know, the province of Bengal has a diverse population with Muslim comprising a significant proportion, 193, which disproportionately benefited by the Hindu Jamindars and excluded many Muslims from the landowning elites. During this period, the electoral system evolved gradually with a limited political reform started with the Indian Council Act of 1861 and 1892, which expanded legislative council to add the Indian members, although these are nominated rather than elected. Their rules will remain in advisory. So, in this era, a political landscape led by the Hindu Badrulu. Bengal's Hindu Badrulu means Western educated elite who leveraged their early socio-economic advantage to control early political organizations like the Indian National Congress and the Bengal Provincial Congress Committee. Then the development of electoral politics of Bengal of Muslims in colonial India was significantly shaped by the socio-economic conditions, British colonial policies, and the emergence of communal representation. It reveals how colonial legislative reforms, particularly the introduction of separate electorates through the Mulle Minto Reform 1909 and later expanded in the Government of India Act 1990 and the Government of India Act 1935, which institutionalized the communal representation and reshaped the Bengal political landscape of Bengal. The political awakening of Muslims during this period was not a sudden process. It is the outcome of prolonged socio-economic marginalization, cultural negotiation, and some kinds of reformist reports. This awareness emerged through the formation of socio-political organizations intellectual movement and institution responsible to the changes realities of colonial rule and dynamics of colonial governments in Bengal. So we have seen the earlier sign of the political awakening of the Muslims in colonial Bengal was the formation of the Mohammedan Literary Society, which established in Kolkata 1863 by Abdul Latif, which actually aimed to promote the Western education among the Muslims in Bengal and address their socio-political backwardness related to the Hindu Brotherhood. This society emphasized much more on the modern education and social upliftment and political consciousness as a means to overcome their marginalized status. So, similarly, the Aligarh movement led by the Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan that has transformed the Muslims of Bengal. The movement promoted civilizing modern education, especially in English, through this institution like the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College established in 1875, which later became the Aligarh Muslim University, converted the later Aligarh Muslim University. It emphasized the loyalty to the British as a strategy for the Muslim upliftment. In Bengal, this movement inspired by the like Sayyid Amir Ali, who found
now come to the what are the things that you have completed. You are doing the chapter of
pinpoint. What are the
that's all. Don't get into all the details.
So these are actually overall background of my topic introduction part that I have developed, and these are these key things that Mohammedan Literary and Aligarh movement and Funding Muslims of League that collectively means represent Muslim political identity and into political organization. These actually lead to the groundwork for the Muslim to politically actively participate in the electoral politics.